Hello everyone, thank you for joining today. My name is Yarici. Today I'm going to present my work titled Subject Invariant Contrastive Learning for Human Activity Recognition. Many methods propose to recognize human activities from various sensor data. One method that is recently popular for human activity recognition is self-supervised learning, specifically contrastive learning, which is very effective and does not require annotated data for training. Here, you see a contrastive learning applied to AMU data captured from human activities. The idea is simple. We take the original one-dimensional signal and create augmented versions of it. These signals are then passed through a transformer encoder and a projection head. Finally, we apply a contrastive loss, which makes the model bring similar signals closer together and push different ones apart. This way, the model learns strong and generalizable representations without the need for costly labeling. However, most contrastive methods don't take distributional shifts into account. In human activity recognition, data collected from different subjects can look quite different. For example, an adult subject may show much more variations in their activity patterns compared to older subjects. So these subject-based differences introduce an intrinsic distributional shifts in the data. The problem is that this shift makes it harder for a model to learn through distinctive characteristics of the activities themselves. Instead of focusing on the activity, the model often ends up capturing subject-specific traits. Let's look at how much the performance of human activity recognition is affected by subject invariance. Here, we show the results of this effect on contrastive learning. We compare two settings. In the first, the seen subject settings, the training and testing data are randomly shuffled, which means the same subject may appear in both sets. In second, unseen subjects or cross-subject settings, we separate the training and testing data by subject. As you can see, the performance drops significantly in the unseen subject case. This shows that traditional models struggle to generalize when tested on subjects they haven't seen before. Now, let's look at our methodology. For learning subject invariant features, we start by decomposing the data into two groups. One group contains samples from the same subject, while other contains negatives from different subjects. In our traditional contrastive loss, we apply our weighting function to the same subject negatives. This weighting increases the spread among samples from the same subject, while reducing the intra-subject similarities. By doing this, the model is encouraged to focus on semantic differences between activities rather than on subject-specific patterns. As a result, the learned representation became subject invariant. Here, we present the results for our subject invariant contrastive loss, or SICL. So we applied our loss function on top of three popular contrastive methods: SimCLR, Barlow-Timmis, and Wicklake. To evaluate the performance, we experiment with three different datasets that include multiple modalities, such as inertial signals, skeleton data, and foot pressure. Across all settings, we consistently observed performance improvements when SICL was added. This shows that our loss function effectively enhances representation learning by promoting subject invariance. Now, let's look at the results of our SICL loss in multimodal settings. For this, we choose two multimodal frameworks, SMC and SMC-SMKM. When we added our SICL loss to these models, we observed consistent performance improvements, similar to what we saw in unimodal case. This shows that our approach not only strengthens unimodal representation learning, but also extends effectively on multimodal learning setups. So here are key takeaways. First, subject-based differences reduces the generalization ability of traditional contrastive learning methods. Second, by reweighting in the same subject samples during training, our approach forces the model to focus on learning activity-specific features rather than subject-specific ones. As a result, the learned representation became subject-invariant and more generalizable. If you want to get more information about our paper, you can find our paper in this QR code. Thank you.